The piano teacher's revenge. My stepmother destroyed my daughter's musical dreams, but I made sure she paid the ultimate price. I'm Elena, 42, and what happened to my family still haunts me every day. When I married David, 45, 3 years ago, I thought I was finally giving my daughter Maya, 14, the stable family she deserved. David's mother had passed away when he was young, but his stepmother Patricia, 58, had raised him like her own son. She seemed warm and welcoming at first, praising Maya's piano skills and offering to help with her musical education. Maya is gifted beyond her years. At 14, she plays Chopin like a seasoned professional, her fingers dancing across the keys with a grace that takes my breath away. Music has been her sanctuary since her father died in a car accident when she was 7. The piano became her voice when words failed her, and watching her play was like witnessing pure magic. Patricia claimed to understand this gift, boasting about her own conservatory training from decades ago. She'd sit beside Maya during practice, offering what seemed like helpful guidance. But I began to notice changes. Maya's confidence started cracking under Patricia's constant corrections. "Your posture is wrong," Patricia would snap. "Real musicians don't make those mistakes." I'd watch my daughter's shoulders tense, her natural flow interrupted by harsh criticism. When I gently suggested Patricia might be too intense, she'd smile that cold smile and say, "Elena, you wouldn't understand. You're not a musician." The competition that changed everything was the Regional Youth Piano Championship. Maya had been preparing for months, her piece a complex Rachmaninoff concerto that showcased her extraordinary talent. This wasn't just any competition. The winner would receive a full scholarship to the prestigious Whitmore Academy of Music, Maya's dream school. The judges included renowned pianists and music professors from across the country. For Maya, this was her chance to step into the professional world she'd dreamed of since childhood. Patricia insisted on helping Maya prepare, and foolishly I agreed. She'd arrive at our house early each morning, claiming she wanted to polish Maya's technique. I'd hear them in the music room, Patricia's voice sharp and demanding, Maya's playing becoming increasingly hesitant. When I tried to intervene, Patricia would wave me away. "She needs discipline, Elena. Coddling won't make her a star." The morning of the competition, I found Maya in tears. Her hands were shaking so badly she could barely hold her music sheets. "I can't do it, Mom," she whispered. "Patricia says I'm not ready. She says I'll embarrass myself." My heart shattered. This was my confident, talented daughter, reduced to a trembling child by months of psychological warfare disguised as instruction. I should have trusted my instincts. Should have banned Patricia from our house the moment Maya's light started dimming. But I was trying to keep peace in our blended family, and Patricia was so convincing in her role as the concerned grandmother figure. She'd cornered me the night before, her voice dripping with false concern. "Elena, I hate to say this, but Maya isn't ready for this level of competition. She'll be humiliated. As someone who understands music, I think you should withdraw her entry." The competition was held at the downtown concert hall, a grand venue with velvet seats and crystal chandeliers. Maya sat backstage, her face pale, her hands still trembling. I knelt beside her, gripping her shoulders. "Baby, you are extraordinary. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." But Patricia's voice had wormed its way into Maya's mind, planting seeds of doubt that bloomed into full-blown terror. When Maya's name was called, she walked to the piano like she was walking to her execution. The first few notes were shaky, her confidence shattered. Then something beautiful happened. The music took over. Maya's natural talent broke through the fear, her fingers finding their rhythm. The audience was mesmerized. Even the judges leaned forward, recognizing something special. But Patricia wasn't finished with her cruelty. During the brief intermission, she approached Maya backstage. I was getting water and missed the conversation, but I returned to find my daughter hyperventilating, her face streaked with tears. "What happened?" I demanded. Patricia shrugged, her face innocent. "I just reminded her to focus on the difficult passage in the third movement. She's so sensitive." Maya's second performance was a disaster. Her hands shook uncontrollably, she missed entire sections, and what should have been her moment of triumph became a nightmare of humiliation. The other contestants, younger children who'd been intimidated by Maya's reputation, watched with mixture of pity and relief. Maya fled the stage in tears, her dreams crumbling in real time. We drove home in silence, Maya curled up in the back seat, her competition dress wrinkled and stained with tears. I wanted to comfort her, but rage was building in my chest like a volcanic eruption. Patricia had done this deliberately. She'd systematically destroyed my daughter's confidence, then delivered the killing blow at the worst possible moment. That night I confronted Patricia. David was at work and it was just the two of us in my living room. "You sabotaged her," I said, my voice deadly calm. Patricia's mask finally slipped. She smiled, a cold, satisfied expression that made my blood freeze. "Maya needed to learn her place," she said. "Not everyone can be a star, Elena. Better she learns now than faces bigger disappointments later." The truth hit me like a physical blow. Patricia had never intended to help Maya. She'd been threatened by a 14-year-old girl's talent, so she'd set out to destroy it. My daughter's gift, her passion, her dreams, Patricia had crushed them all because she couldn't stand to see Maya succeed where she had failed. I spent the next week watching Maya withdraw further into herself. She wouldn't touch the piano, wouldn't even look at her music sheets. When David suggested she try playing again, she flinched like he'd struck her. "I'm not good enough," she whispered. Patricia was right. "I'm just fooling myself." That's when I decided Patricia needed to face consequences for what she'd done. But I wouldn't just confront her or complain to David. I would destroy her the same way she'd destroyed Maya, systematically, personally, and completely. Patricia's pride was her small local piano teaching studio. She'd built it over 20 years, teaching children and adults in our affluent neighborhood. Her reputation was everything to her. She styled herself as the town's premier piano instructor, the woman who could unlock any student's potential. Parents paid premium rates because Patricia promised results. I started my campaign carefully. I created anonymous social media accounts and began leaving reviews on her business pages. Not outright lies, but carefully crafted truths that painted an ugly picture. Patricia Hendricks destroyed my daughter's love of music with her cruel teaching methods. Avoid this teacher. She's more interested in breaking down children than building them up. My child developed severe anxiety after studying with Patricia. But reviews weren't enough. I needed something more devastating. I remembered Patricia mentioning she was up for a position at the community college, teaching their adult music program. It was a prestigious role that would cement her status and provide a comfortable retirement income. I reached out to parents whose children had studied with Patricia over the years. I discovered I wasn't alone. Patricia had a pattern of psychological manipulation. Sarah Martinez told me how Patricia had made her son quit piano after telling him he had no natural ability. Jennifer Walsh described how Patricia had reduced her daughter to tears during every lesson, claiming it was necessary for artistic growth. Armed with these testimonies, I compiled a detailed report about Patricia's teaching methods. I included documentation of Maya's psychological state before and after studying with Patricia, complete with photos of her in tears after lessons. I sent this report to the community college's hiring committee, to the local music teachers association, and to the parents of every student currently studying with Patricia. The response was swift and devastating. The college immediately withdrew their job offer. The Music Teachers Association launched an investigation into Patricia's methods. Parents began pulling their children from her studio in droves. Within 2 weeks, Patricia had lost over half her students. But I wasn't finished. I discovered Patricia had been lying about her credentials for years. She claimed to have graduated from the New England Conservatory, but a simple records check revealed she'd never attended. Her professional performance career was equally fictional. She'd never performed with the orchestras she claimed on her resume. I compiled this evidence and sent it to every parent who'd ever entrusted their child to Patricia's care. The revelation that their children's teacher was a fraud sparked outrage throughout our community. Parents demanded refunds, threatened lawsuits, and shared their discoveries on social media. Patricia's business collapsed within a month. Her studio sat empty, her phone stopped ringing, and her reputation was in ruins. But I still wasn't satisfied. Maya was still broken, still afraid to touch the piano that had once been her greatest joy. I decided to target Patricia's personal life next. I knew she was deeply involved in our neighborhood's social hierarchy. She served on the Homeowners Association board, organized charity events, and prided herself on being a community leader. These positions gave her a sense of importance and control that I was determined to strip away. I began attending homeowners association meetings, armed with documentation of Patricia's lies about her credentials. I questioned her judgment, her decision-making, and her trustworthiness. Other residents, already aware of her teaching scandal, began to see her differently. The woman they'd respected was revealed as a manipulative liar who'd built her entire identity on deception. Patricia tried to fight back, but her credibility was shattered. She'd scream at meetings, accusing me of orchestrating a vendetta, but her hysteria only made her look more unhinged. One by one, her positions were stripped away. She was removed from the Homeowners Association board, kicked out of the charity organizations she'd helped lead, and gradually ostracized from the social circles she'd once dominated. The isolation was destroying her. I'd see her at the grocery store, her hair unwashed, her clothes wrinkled, her eyes darting around like a cornered animal. She'd aged years in a matter of months, her confident demeanor replaced by paranoid anxiety. She knew I was responsible for her downfall, but she couldn't prove it, couldn't stop it, couldn't escape it. David was caught in the middle, watching his stepmother's life implode while trying to understand what had happened. I'd been careful not to involve him in my campaign, but he wasn't stupid. He could see the connection between Maya's trauma and Patricia's destruction. When he finally confronted me, I didn't deny it. She destroyed our daughter, I told him simply. I made sure she faced consequences. David was quiet for a long moment, studying my face. Then he nodded slowly. Good, he said. Maya deserved better. But my revenge wasn't complete until Maya began to heal. I found her a new piano teacher, Dr. Marcus Chin, a gentle man who specialized in working with traumatized young musicians. He was everything Patricia wasn't: patient, encouraging, and genuinely invested in his students' well-being. The first time Maya played for Dr. Chin, she was terrified. But he listened without judgment, then smiled warmly. You have extraordinary talent, he said. Let's work together to help you find your confidence again. Those words, so different from Patricia's constant criticism, brought tears to Maya's eyes. It took months of patient work, but slowly Maya began to rediscover her love of music. Dr. Chin helped her understand that Patricia's cruelty had nothing to do with her abilities. It was about Patricia's own insecurities and failures. As Maya's confidence returned, so did her technical skills. She was soon playing better than ever, her music filled with emotion and passion that had been suppressed for too long. The day Maya performed her first recital after the trauma, I sat in the audience with tears streaming down my face. She played Chopin's Ballade No. 1, her fingers dancing across the keys with the same grace I remembered from before Patricia's interference. The audience was mesmerized, and when she finished, they erupted in thunderous applause. After the performance, Maya found me in the lobby. Mom, she said, her eyes bright with the joy I'd missed for so long, I want to try for the scholarship again next year. Dr. Chin thinks I'm ready. I hugged her tight, feeling the final piece of my heart heal. Meanwhile, Patricia's life continued its downward spiral. She'd been forced to sell her house, unable to afford the mortgage without her teaching income. She moved into a small apartment across town, isolated and alone. Her relationship with David had become strained. He'd made it clear that she was no longer welcome in our home, and their occasional meetings were tense and uncomfortable. I occasionally saw her around town, always alone, always looking defeated. The confident woman who'd once terrorized my daughter was gone, replaced by someone broken and bitter. I felt no pity for her. She'd made her choices, and now she was living with the consequences. 6 months after Maya's recital, I received a call from David. Patricia had been found dead in her apartment, an apparent suicide. She'd left a note blaming me for destroying her life, claiming she couldn't live with the shame and isolation. David was shaken, asking if I felt any guilt or remorse. I thought about it carefully before answering. Patricia had chosen to hurt my daughter, to systematically destroy a child's dreams and confidence. When faced with consequences for her actions, she'd chosen to end her life rather than seek redemption or make amends. I felt no guilt for protecting my daughter and ensuring justice was served. She made her choices, I told David. I made mine. I'd do it again to protect Maya. Today Maya is thriving. She's studying with Dr. Chin, preparing for next year's scholarship competition with confidence and joy. She plays for hours each day, lost in the music she loves, her talent flowering under proper guidance. The trauma Patricia inflicted has become a source of strength. Maya knows she can overcome anything, and her music reflects that resilience. Sometimes Maya asks about Patricia and I tell her the truth, that some people are threatened by others' success and will try to tear them down. But I also tell her that talent and determination will always triumph over cruelty and jealousy. Patricia's legacy is one of destruction, but Maya's will be one of beauty and inspiration. I sleep peacefully now, knowing I protected my daughter and ensured justice was served. Patricia learned too late that a mother's love is the most powerful force in the world, and that those who threaten our children do so at their own peril. Maya's music fills our house again, and that's the only sound that matters. The piano teacher thought she could break my daughter's spirit, but instead she awakened something fierce and protective in me. In the end, Maya's dreams survived and Patricia's cruelty was punished. That's a victory I'll carry with me forever. If you like this story, hit the like button and subscribe Karma Revenge for more amazing videos.